Does what you say matter? Yeah, pretty much. Glory be to God. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Garrett, and I'm back again for yet another episode of pretty much a show where I talk about pretty much anything, everything, and nothing for about 10 minutes every single Monday. It's also a vlog channel, so go ahead and check the vlogs out. I got a whole bunch of them. I got almost 200 vlogs. So go check those out, and while you're at it, subscribe. That would mean a lot to me, as always, because, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. But if I don't make it, that's all good, because it's just a number. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of numbers and likes and stuff, I'm back on Facebook. I just got back on Facebook after not being on there for probably 8 months, 8 or 9 months, almost a year. I took a hiatus, and you would know if you watch the vlogs. If you watch the vlogs, you know I took a hiatus. I got back on there yesterday after wanting to get back on there for some time, but not knowing how I wanted to get back on there. If you watch a previous, pretty much, then you know that I wanted to come back with a fire video or something like that. But I started thinking, man, it's not about that right now. It's not about validation and trying to make sure that you're one of the hottest out or something like that. Right now, people just need to be encouraged. People need to be told things that will help them and not make them be afraid and stuff like that. And I honestly feel like I got on a good time because, as you know, yesterday was Palm Sunday. So all the churches and stuff were doing their online services. And I honestly didn't know which one to watch. There were so many different services going on. I'm I don't even know where to start. But I watched a few. And, I don't know if I'm happy about being back on Facebook. But, I guess I can start sharing these things with the people that I follow on there and stuff like that. But today I have two things on my mind right now, but I guess I'm going to try to talk about both of them. But the main thing that I want to talk about really is how what you say is important, especially in this time, in this season. And I also want to talk about how God is God and how he really wants everybody to know that he is God. And I guess I'll start there. So I've been reading the book of Isaiah in the Bible. Really good book to read in the Bible in case you haven't read it. And one thing that I've been learning about God in reading these verses in the book of Isaiah is no matter what God does, whether he blesses or takes away or whatever, no matter what he does, he just wants us all to know that he is God, and he wants us to realize that he is God. You know what I'm saying? So in all things, if he blesses the land and brings good crops and all this kind of stuff, he'll say my people will know that I am God, and they will be my people or whatever. And then we all know the Bible verse, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, then I will hear them and heal the land, right? So God is really, really, really big on us knowing who he is, and us being aware that he is who he is. And I think about the book of Job, right? I was just talking to Ashley about Job the other day. So I don't know if everybody watching this has read the book of Job, but basically in a summary, Job had everything that he could ever really want, honestly. Great family, great job, all this kind of stuff. And all that stuff got taken away from him because the enemy was looking for somebody to mess with. And God was like, try my servant Job. I know he won't, no matter what you do to him, he won't stop serving me, basically. So the devil, but he told the devil, you cannot kill him though. You could do whatever, but you just can't kill him, right? And so Job went through all this stuff. He went through this big, huge, he lost a whole bunch of his crops and plants, and he went through a lot with his friends. His wife told him to just curse God and die, and he went through quite a bit, right? And he sat with his friends a majority of the book, and they were telling him all this kind of bad advice, and he wasn't listening to any of that. But then Job started, I don't know if you could call it complaining, but he started like wondering, I guess you could say, like, what's going on with God? Like, well, I just want to hear from God. I just want to hear from God. Like, why is all this happening? Why am I going through all this? And so he just wanted to hear God speak to him, right? Because words are important. But when God finally spoke to him, he just talked about all the things that he created. Like, God was just like, I can't remember everything that he said, but basically he would say stuff like, who invented the whale, and who invented the elephant, and who causes the sun to rise, and stuff like that. Didn't even mention the fact that Job was going through all that kind of stuff. He just completely just talked about, like, who are you to question me? I created everything. I invented all of this. And then Job, after hearing all of that, was like, dog, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm not even worthy. You know what I'm saying? And after that, God blessed Job, and he got double for his trouble, as they say. He got everything back 10 times better and all this kind of stuff. So I find it interesting that in that story, God didn't even mention the fact that he had the boils on his skin and he lost all this kind of stuff. But instead, God was just like, listen, I invented everything. Like, and I think basically what God is saying, like, you're worried about, all this kind of stuff, but I'm in control of everything. And I feel like God is doing the same thing right now. We need to realize that God is in control. God created everything. He either allows something or he sends something. But no matter what, we have to remember that what God is doing is we need to know that God is God. And until we realize that, we're just going to be struggling. Because it's like, we're going to be struggling. Like right now, the enemy has us all scared and is all petrified of all kinds of things. But God is like, I'm God. Like, this little virus thing that y'all nervous about, this ain't nothing compared to me. And so, remember that. But in this time, while you're remembering that, be sure to be careful of what you're saying. I can't get into it because we don't have enough time, but a lot of the prophets, you ask almost any prophet, they'll tell you right now that this year is the year of the mouth. What you say is very important in this year. You don't want to be declaring and decreeing stuff that's not true. You don't want to be saying stuff that could happen that can be prevented if you had not said it. And like, a lot of people on the news are saying things, and a lot of people on social media are saying things, but what account will you believe? Don't believe anything other than the word of God. In the word of God. In the beginning, the word was with God. The word was God. The word is very important. Words are very important. So please, I encourage you to watch what you say, because what we don't realize that we're doing, we are basically saying what's going to happen next, and we're basically prophesying over what's going to happen in the world. So when you say stuff like, oh, look at the government, they doing this, next thing you know, they going to be doing this, all you're doing is prophesying what is going to happen next. And when it happens, then what? Really, then what? When it happens, you're going to be like, you're going to realize you said it. You spoke it into existence. Speak life in this time. That's all I can say, is just speak life in these trying times. Don't prophesy negativity. Don't prophesy bad things happening, but just speak life, because that's what we really need in this time. And don't speak anything about yourself. If you don't feel well, if you sneeze, it might be allergies, it might not, but don't say that you got something. Don't say that you contracted something, because all you're going to do is make it happen. Like, the enemy right now is just swarming around, and he's just looking for somebody that'll agree with what he's saying. And you do not want to agree with what he's saying. What did God say? What is God saying in this time? And if you ask God, just like Job, you'll find out that God is saying, I am God. I am in control of everything. I create everything. I send things and I approve things. So, like, if my people, so be careful with what you say. I'm actually over my limit right now, but I just want to say that. So, yeah, I don't really have anything for y'all to leave in the comments today, but on the 10th episode, I want to answer y'all's questions. So leave some questions below that you would want me to talk about in the 10th episode of this. Pretty much series, I guess you could say. This is episode 6. So leave some comments below, some questions, some topics, ideas, or whatever that you would want me to talk about in the 10th one. I'll answer them honestly. And so appreciate y'all. Watch what you say. I love y'all. See y'all next Monday. God bless. Peace. Yeah.